What is going on, YouTube? It's your boy Matt the Scat. And wait, hold on. Hey! And today I have breaking news. James Harden is now officially a member of the Brooklyn Nets. And the Nets were able to keep KD, Kyrie, and Spencer Dinwiddie.
How do you do that?
I had no plans of making this video. Duh, obviously, because it's breaking news. I was going to upload part 2 of my NFL playoffs predictions. I'll drop part 1 in the description, as well as the most interesting and important parts of this video, so make sure you guys check the description. But anywho, forget all that. James Harden is a member of the Brooklyn Nets. Now, before I jump into how do I think it's going to affect the teams, do I like the trade, do I agree with it, let me say this. Brooklyn should make it mandatory for James Harden to physically run from Houston to the Barclays Center just so he could lose 35 pounds. It should be mandatory. He should not be allowed to take public transportation from Houston to the Barclays Center. It should be forced upon that man to walk. Okay, because that man came in like 25, 35 pounds overweight. Alright, it should be in his contract. When he signs that contract, it should be, damn it, James, you better walk to every game. You don't get to ride your bicycle. You don't get to skateboard. You don't get to take a tricycle. You know what I'm saying? You have to run or jog or sprint or whatever you want to say. But on a serious note, I do like the trade. Now, I'm going to put screenshots of different sources just to make sure I'm saying this right. Apparently, it was a 3 or 4 team trade involving Cleveland, Houston, obviously, the Nets, and the Pacers. From my understanding, I hope I'm saying this right, the Nets gave Houston Karis LeVert and a bunch of first-round picks, I believe, from Cleveland, okay? The Nets gave away Jared Allen to Cleveland for picks. They gave those picks along with Karis LeVert to Houston for James Harden. And now, Houston traded Karis LeVert to the Pacers for Victor Oladipo. So Karis LeVert is on the Pacers now as their new franchise piece. John Wall, Boogie Cousins, and Victor Oladipo are all on Houston. James Harden's obviously on the Nets, and Jared Allen, GG's my boy, your ass got stuck in Cleveland. Now, do I like the trade? Yes, I do, because the Nets were 6-6. Well, actually, they were 5-6 before Kevin Durant made that game-winning shot in their last game. So they weren't off to a crazy 8-0 start or a 10-0 start. They were still getting things together. And the reason why I like this trade a lot is because they were still able to keep a lot of their bench. They still were able to keep DeAndre Jordan, KD, Kyrie, Spencer Dinwiddie, like I stated already. Now, I know this is going to sound crazy, but in my opinion, I would probably put James Harden off the bench. He would still play 30+ minutes, but I just wouldn't have Kyrie and James Harden on the floor together that much. They do the same thing, dribble, and then they're gonna attack the basket, right? So they were probably just getting each other's way. I would probably, and it's clear that James Harden cannot lead a franchise by himself. So it is plausible that he may go to that OKC role where he's the third option, come off the bench and just drop 25, right? Maybe he could start sometimes, but I don't know how it would work. I'm not saying the Nets are going to do that. That's probably what I would do. As a fit, I don't know how James Harden and Kyrie are going to play together on the floor. They're both ball dominant, and I know some people are going to say James Harden played with Russell Westbrook already, but they're two types of ball dominant players. Kyrie's going to dribble until he feels he has enough separation to either shoot it or drive it. Russell Westbrook is making 1 or 2 moves max, and then he's attacking. So he's a ball hog in terms of the shots he takes, but he's not ball dominant in terms of he's going to stand around dribbling while everybody else is standing in the corner, okay? So it's going to be interesting to see how James Harden and Kyrie fit. So I do think it's highly possible for James Harden to sacrifice the most, and it's going to be very important for him to lose the weight anyway, on a serious note, because if you notice, James Harden had his best defensive year last season, and he started playing defense when he came back from doing all those training exercises on the mountain when he lost like 20 pounds. So James Harden, you're going to have to lose all that weight you gained and then get back into the shape you were when you started training extra hard, because that's when you were playing defense. They have plenty of scorers. They have KD, who's averaging off an Achilles injury. This man is averaging 30 points, 8 rebounds, and 6 assists. Kyrie's averaging 27 points, 5 rebounds, and 6 assists. And James Harden's averaging 25 and 10. So I think James Harden's going to have to sacrifice the most because they have scorers already. They have Spencer Dinwiddie. They have, Kyrie and KD, obviously. James Harden, you need to lose weight and focus on playing defense. They're probably going to have Kyrie handle the ball mostly, with Kevin Durant, and then James Harden is going to be running around the perimeter trying to get threes. Maybe they'll make James Harden the sixth man and make him come off the bench. That's what I would probably do, because you want KD and Kyrie to do their own thing. Maybe James Harden will go back to that six-man role, but obviously he's way better than that. He can be a starter. I'm not saying he deserves to be a six-man. I'm saying the way I would use him, I wouldn't have him on the floor with Kyrie. I think they would just get in each other's way, slow each other down. I would probably bring James Harden off the bench. He would still play like 28, 30 minutes. Don't get me wrong. There's no point in having Kyrie and James Harden on the floor. They're pretty much the same player, except for James Harden's gonna dunk the ball and Kyrie's gonna lay it. Okay, both ball dominant and are both looking for their shots all the time. So that's how personally I would use James Harden. But I do like the trade. I thought he was gonna get traded to the 76ers for maybe Ben Simmons, but I didn't. I do think it's good that the Sixers backed out of it and didn't want to trade Ben Simmons, because I personally wouldn't trade Ben Simmons for James Harden, because you have a player who's 6'10" and can do literally everything on the court except for shoot, and he's been working on it. He's starting to shoot a little bit more. He's still not good at shooting. That jump shot's broke, my guy. You gotta go fix that, Ben. You have to go fix it. You've been in the league for 4 years and you've improved like by 6%. Come on now. But anywho, where do I see the Nets finishing? I do see them finishing in the top 5. Obviously, they're 6-6, like I stated. And I believe, let me make sure I'm going to say the right seeding. Okay, so the Nets are in fact in the playoffs right now. They are 3rd in their division, and they're 7th overall in the conference. I do believe they'll finish the top 5, because we know damn well Orlando is currently 5th, and Charlotte is currently 6th. So we know damn well Indiana, Orlando, and Charlotte are not going to be where they're at by the end of the season. I do have Boston and Milwaukee finishing higher than the Nets. I think they'll finish probably 4th, maybe, behind Boston, Boston, Milwaukee, and then maybe Philly. They're going to finish 3 or 4. That's my damn point, okay? They're going to be a top 4 seed. I do see them making it to the conference finals, where they play against, I would say, Boston, maybe. I don't think the Bucks are going to make it back to the finals. I don't think they're going to make it back. I think it's going to be between the Nets and Boston. Jason Tatum, you know how everybody who subscribed to this channel already knows how I feel about Jason Tatum. That's my guy. And I do think the Nets are going to get to the finals. I do. I really do. And who knows? If it's Lakers versus Nets, because that's who I have coming out of the West. I don't have any other team. Maybe the Nuggets. The Nuggets actually could really do it this year. Especially since Bobo is going to be in the starting lineup from now on. The Nuggets could upset the Lakers. So it's either going to, my opinion is either going to be Nuggets, Nets in the finals, or Lakers Nets. Okay, so you heard it here first. I'm predicting the Nets will make it to the finals, and they will end up either playing the Lakers or the Nuggets, not the Clippers. The Clippers are not going to make it to the finals. That's another bold prediction. Well, it's not that bold. They choked last year, and I believe they're a worse team this year than they were last year. But that's just me. So now let's talk about the other teams, the Pacers. I think this is a good move, because you weren't doing anything with Victor Oladipo. Not that he's bad or anything, but you guys were gonna just get bumped in the 1st or 2nd round every time with Victor Oladipo. Caris LeVert, I think, has more upside because he's taller. And if you look at the history of the NBA, the best teams, I'm talking about the best teams of all time, they were usually carried or led by two-way wing players: Kawhi Leonard, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, Kevin Durant. What's the common theme? Jason Tatum. These all Hall of Fame caliber players and Hall of Fame players already were two-way wing players. That's just what it is. If you can get up two-way wing players, you're guaranteed to go to the finals, damn near. Except for if you're the Clippers, because you know they choke a lot. Pause. But anywho, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the channel and you made it to this part, you're a real one. You're a G. Feel free to look through the channel. I upload Madden, 2K, sports discussions, a top 10 list, top 5 list, anything sports related. We pretty much have it on this channel. Thank you guys for over 400 subscribers. I'm gonna keep grinding for y'all, and I am going to be dropping my NFL playoffs predictions part 2 now that all the seeds are set. Because my last video, I made a video before all the seeds were confirmed. But thank you guys so much, and I'm out. Peace.